My hats off to Michigan. Johnny Beeline and his guys did a great job. Came in here in a hostile environment, and when you give up 10 threes to Michigan, it's going to be a tough outing for sure. But the second half, the end of the first half, second half, we were dealing obviously with some adversity, and I thought our guys competed. I thought they played hard to come out, take the lead, and we finished off the first half really well. So there's going to be some positives taken from this. We'll grow from this, and we'll get better from it. And that's what I told them in there. Guys, it's all about 1% better. For all of you and all the fans and the families, it's about NCAA tournament and all those distractions and all that noise. For me, with this group, it's 1% better. Continue to push, continue to strive. Come to practice, come to film, come to lift, come to whatever we're doing, and try to get a little bit better each time. And now, we don't know what the situation is with Mike. He'll get tests tomorrow, so I'll be able to give you an answer, and we'll set something up to give you something concrete. But we got a lot of basketball left. And we've done some great things. We've done some great things this season, so I don't want them to lose their focus and their joy on what they've done, what they've accomplished.
Pat, could you take us through the thought process with what you were trying to get out of Mike there by having him come back in the game?
He asked me to come back in. If I didn't put him back in, he would have tightened up.
Okay.
So I said, you sure you want to go back? I checked with our trainer, Saz, and Doc. They said he should be okay. Just give it a shot. He went back in. He didn't look good to me, so I took him out.
All right, and how does that mess up the things you do defensively and offensively with your rotations?
Yeah, look, Mike's been playing 28, 30 minutes. Obviously, he only played 9 against Purdue. We saw that result, and tonight he barely played again, and we see the result. He's our rim protector. He's our guy that loosens things up. He's another offensive rebounder. He's a lob dunker. He makes big plays for us on both ends. He's a ferocious rebounder. And obviously the guys, there's a trust level with that starting 5. Not that they don't have it with Julian, John, and Satchel, but there's a trust level. And Mike kind of cleans up mistakes.
Pat, you had to play a lot of small lineups without him.
Hey, David, how you doing?
How you doing? And your team is the one that I thought didn't look like they hit the February wall really until now, and everyone else kind of did. Did you think they got a little gassed late in the second half? Because they had all those guys out there playing more minutes.
And you would know this. I call it the Purdue factor, right? I think in football they call it the Wisconsin factor. Yeah, anytime you play those guys, especially on the road, and we competed as hard as we did, you're a little bit beat up. And I felt like we started the game like that. We looked a little sluggish. But that's why I love this team so much. They dug deep, they came out, they responded from the halftime adjustments, and we take the lead. But for the first time, I would agree with you. We look like we got a little bit tired or winded at the end there.
Coach, one of those adjustments you made was when Julian Moore got in foul trouble. You put Lamar Stevens at the 5. Why do you think you guys are so successful defending a much bigger Michigan team with Wagner out close to 7 foot?
Because Wagner's not really going to post up. He wants to shoot threes, obviously 4 for 5 from 3, and we were trying to prevent him from getting those threes. So going small and switching and keeping them in front of us, I thought we did a really good job in the second half at the end of the first. But as the game went on, and we got to be able to, our offense has to help our defense sometimes. There's got to be better execution. We've got to make some timely free throws. Got to take care of the basketball. And when you don't do that, then it puts a lot of heat and a lot of pressure on your defense, because their second chance points it felt like a ton. Points off turnovers were 14. That's fast break with 13. That's a lot of points. And we need to do a better job in certain areas.
Pat, what is the challenge of defending the 3 against Michigan, especially when Wagner and Robinson are both shooting like they did tonight?
Yeah, you really got to be high. You got to switch high. You got to have high hands. Our whole thing was have high hands. Don't let them shoot them. Don't let them get them off. And obviously they got 21 off. So, it's something that we can work on, something we can to grow as we come back to practice. Because Nebraska takes a ton of threes too. So we got to do a better job with that.
Emotionally, what does it do, though, when Mike comes out of the game? Because it just looked like he wanted to be in there so bad. And do the other players sort of notice that?
Yeah, they did, and Mike wanted to come back on the bench, and I just thought it was best that he stay in there, because if Mike's on the bench and he's showing hurt or pain, I think that deflates the team as well. He wanted to be back on the bench. We just felt like it was best to give our team the best psychological chance was to keep him in the training room.
Can you just give us what the explanations were to you on the shot clock malfunction?
I have no idea.
And
On the
maybe-
malfunction and then the ball going out of bounds, you're going to have to ask Gene that.
Okay.
Call him.
Do I need this? Thanks. What did Mike say he did when he got injured? Did he bang knees, or what happened? Because
No,
we didn't really see it.
It was
kinda
such a
went
bang
down.
bang play.
It was lift off.
Yeah, it was such a bang bang play. I didn't even see it. I didn't even know he was down until they blew the whistle, and I was looking around and he was laying on
No,
the
we
waist.
didn't either, but I
Yeah.
mean, we looked back at the replays, and it looked like the only thing possible was the bang knees. Did he say anything? What happened? Does he know what
I
happened?
haven't talked to Mike yet, but I've talked to the docs about getting tests done and seeing where he is and where we go from here.
Is it safe to say right knee?
I would say right leg.
Okay.
Pat, you obviously were able to solve some of the blitzing that Tony saw a lot in the first half and get that lead back. What did you need more in the second half as play wore on to kind of open things offensively? Because there's a little bit of drought there, going from like the 10-minute mark to about the 2.
You know what? The against their zone, we needed to get into the corners below the free throw line. It's something that we stress. It was just staying between the slots too much. We needed to get it down deep, get it to Lamar in the middle, get it to Tony in the middle, or drive it. Drive the basketball and be okay with the results. And play off 2 feet, we needed to jump stop a lot more as well. But I felt like if we get into the corners, we can make any play we wanted because they have 4 so high. But I always go back to our identity, what it's been, and how we've been playing so well over the last month or so has been defending and rebounding. And when you're turning the ball over, it puts, again, a lot of heat on your defense. And when you don't make free throws, again, 6 for 11, some of these are front ends, man, that really deflates you a little bit, especially when it's a 2-possession game. Those 2 free throws are critical. When you're in a 1-possession game, which it was for most of the second half until the end, obviously, every possession matters. Everything you do, so that's where your habits got to come out. It's where making free throws with confidence has to come out. All those little things, and we'll continue to work on them.
Is the foul shooting a big concern? No.
You know, it's been a big concern all year. I think we were right around 70, and the goal is to be above 75. So we'll continue to work on it.
Okay, 2 more questions, Nate and Tyler.
What did you feel like prompted the response from 13 down in the first half to be able to climb all the way back to take a lead?
Yeah, I just thought at halftime we knew we didn't play well. We knew we didn't play well. So we talked about our adjustments were, we got to play a little better defense. We got to understand where Wagner's going to be, and we got to communicate better out there. And we got to be in stances. We got to do the simple things, the little things that don't show up in this a little bit better. And then on the offensive end, we got to put some pressure on the paint. Put some heat on them. And we did that. We forced them into early fouls, which is what we needed to do. But we didn't do it consistent enough. And again, we'll watch the film and we'll get better from it.
Pat, when Michigan went to that 1-3-1 half-court zone there a little bit, did that kind of throw you guys off? And it seemed like for a couple minutes there before you got to talk to your team and trust them enough that it was really starting to throw you guys off. You guys didn't have your shooters out there with Ship and Josh in some foul trouble.
Yeah, so what it is a 1-1-3, and it flattens out to a 2-3. And that's Lamar's world, that nail area, the foul line area. And he made a free throw, and he made a jump shot. But then he's got to mix it up. He's got to drive it sometimes. He's got to play off 2 feet sometimes. He's got to mix it up because they will converge on you. But again, we need to get into the corners and be able to make plays from that. And there's a situation where you miss Mike because you can throw Mike lobs. And I don't think they really respected our 5s. And our 5s got to get more touches, and we got to work on that.